is possible in Publisher to create connected text boxes. The idea there is that you can connect one text box to another text box. And if the first text box that you type in becomes full, then the text will flow automatically into the connected text box rather than just disappear. Let me show you what I mean. What I'd like to do is add a second page. So I'm just going to go right click over here on the page pane, and I'm just going to insert a blank page. Now on this blank page I'd like to create 4 text boxes. So from the Home tab in the ribbon, I'm going to click the Draw Text Box button, and I just want to draw a text box here. I'm now going to draw another text box, so I'll go back to Home, draw a text box, and draw another one about here. I'm then going to go back to Home and draw another text box about here. And finally go back to Home and draw another text box about here. Now I don't know about you, but I'm finding it annoying to have to keep going back to Home to draw text boxes. Let me show you a trick. I'm going to go back to the Home tab, I'm going to right click Draw Text Box, and I'm going to add it to my Quick Access toolbar. And now I have a button. So it doesn't matter where I'm sitting now in terms of the tabs and the ribbon. If I want to draw a text box, I don't have to keep going home, I just use this button here. It's just a little trick. Now I'd like to add another page. So I'm going to right click in my Pages navigation pane and insert another blank page. And this is page 3. On page 3 I'd like to draw, so I'm going to use this button now, draw a text box at the top. And I'm going to draw, actually I'm just going to stop there. Alright, so now what I want to do is connect these text boxes. I'm going to click on page 2 in my Page navigation pane. I'm going to click on the first box and I want to connect it to the second box. To do this I'm going to go to the Text Box Tools tab, and in the linking group I'm going to use the button Create Links. So Text Box Tools, Format tab, Linking group, Create Link. Now when I click this, actually before I do so, let's have a read. Link this text box to another one so that the text flows between them. The mouse cursor will change to show that you are ready to link. Click on an empty text box to link to it. The text will flow from the current text box to the linked one. So that's the explanation. Let's click on the button. Now look at your mouse. Your mouse now looks like a jug that wants to pour into another text box. So I'm going to click on this text box, and that will create the connection between this one and this one. So when this one fills up with text, it'll pour into here. So I'll just click. This little button is now telling me that I can move back to the text box that it's linked to. So it'll take me back to who it's linked to. And it's taking me back to the first box. When I click this, it'll move me forward to the box that box is linked to. Let's create some more links. So I'm sitting on the second text box. I'll hit the Create Link button and I'll click on the third and pour into the third box. Now I can move between this box to this box, and when I go to this one I can either go backwards or forwards, because this one is connected to the first box and it also flows into the third box. So I can go back, forward, forward and back. Now sitting on this third box I want to create a link to this one, so I'll pour into this one, and so now I can move back between all the connected boxes and forward between all the connected boxes. If I wanted to break the link, I'd simply click in a box and I'd simply use the break button, and that would break the link between this text box and the next one. These are also buttons that you can use to move to the next and the previous linked box, in the same way we've been hitting these buttons. Now what I want to do is link the last or the fourth text box on page 2 to the first text box on page 3, so it flows on to the next page. So I sit in this text box, I click the Create Link button, I go to page 3 and I click in the top text box. And I've just linked the top text box on page 3 to the bottom text box on page 2.